do and say whatever to me specifically, like hurt me and my wife as much as you want.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new Slot Meal video, and today we've got lots of juicy iDubbbz content to dive into. Firstly, I want to start off with an apology. I want to apologise for almost doing back-to-back iDubbbz coverage, but this stuff is just too good to ignore. So without further ado, let's dive into the big thing that everybody is talking about right now. Noah Samsen was streaming last night, and towards the end of the live stream, iDubbbz joined and spoke to Noah Samsen about lots of interesting things, including things like Creator Clash, the skulls that were sent to Ethan Klein, and lots of other controversial things, and he spoke a lot about the commentary community. There's lots of interesting stuff I want to dive into here. I want to cover this situation, and it might sound bizarre, but trust me, it will all make sense, is the pushback from this whole video in the first place, the fallout, and then what was actually said within the podcast itself. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the fallout and the clip that really kind of sparked a conversation around this is worth talking about first before diving into it.
One last question. Did you send the skulls? What is your opinion on the skulls, and did you send them?
I didn't send the skulls. I don't know. I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous.
I'm going to be real with you, and this might sound a pretty controversial take, so buckle up. I don't think the receiving human skulls in the mail is humorous in any shape or form. It's crazy, it's insane, it's clearly a threat. There's nothing really funny about it whatsoever.
To hear that. Especially when I heard that they were like from skulls.com or some shit like that.
Why does that add to the humour? That was of course going to be the case. Did iDubbbz genuinely think somebody went out there with a shovel, went to somebody's poor gravestone and dug up a body?
That made it funny.
Yeah. Just a death threat to a father, a family.
Yeah, was it a death threat?
Okay, I'm coming in with another, pretty controversial take here. I think receiving skulls in the mail could be seen as a threat. I also love how Ian's face absolutely drops when Noah says that before Noah says that he's joking. Like, he genuinely looks like he's just shit himself.
Yeah, no. Skulls.com with the serial number still attached and the packaging still on it.
To be honest, I didn't know anything about it because I think it was linked to as like was it a response to my content column? Or was that before? I don't even remember.
Do you think he sent the skulls himself?
I don't... let's put it this way. I don't endorse sending skulls to anyone's houses.
Really, iDubbbz? You don't say. You're saying you don't endorse people sending skulls to somebody's house, but you find it humorous? But what a bizarre thing. I think Nicholas Diorio's reaction to this kind of sums this up in the best possible way.
It was kind of humorous to...
Oh my dude, this is fucking crazy. This is like the only way that you can give a wrong answer. Wow.
Genuinely, just who in their right mind is saying this type of stuff and genuinely thinks that this was the right opinion and right thought to have on this? Of course, when Ethan Klein saw this, he responded on Instagram. Ian lost his virginity to Anisa, and he had never had a girlfriend or been with a woman before that. This is what he told me shortly before he started dating her. Anisa responds saying, "Why are you so sexually interested in us? Do I phone 911, a priest? Who do I call to get him help?" She also tweeted out, "Why does Ethan Klein hate hot people?" Which my response on Twitter was just this. She then responded to Anisa saying, "They don't deny it. My interest is not about sex, it's about how pathetic you are." Speaking of which, Anisa's previous boyfriend before Ian was allegedly 17 when she was 22. Anyway, Anisa then responded to H3 by saying, "Hi, so this is actually a lie and illegal. My last partner was a very public relationship. He was 19 and I was 22. You can look up his birthday and when we dated. I'm beyond shocked and disgusted." Anisa then posted proof of this, confirming that what she was saying was actually true. Look, I think that goes without saying, but we at Slot Meal are pretty reasonable people, so it has to be said that this is just disappointing for me. And this is a truly criticizable moment. I know allegedly did a lot of the heavy lifting there, and that's what a lot of people are pointing to it in Anisa's replies, but he still posted this. He still posted this narrative without just fact-checking it. He could have searched up the name, he could have done just the bare minimum research to find out that this rumor was actually false before publishing it on his Instagram story. Ethan then responded by saying Anisa clarified and showed proof that he was not 17, so removed the story. But whilst I'm glad that he did decide to remove the story when he got proved wrong, he wouldn't have to done that in the first place if he did his bare minimum research to make sure what he was saying, even though he used that word allegedly, was what was the truth. Look, I know Anisa and iDubbbz are despicable people, and it very much seems like Ethan was responding out of anger over that Skulls clip, but come on man, could you have not at least just said sorry for putting this on your story? Like, come on, man. Ethan then follows up by saying, I never planned on sharing that story, but after seeing him call the Skulls humorous, I realised there is nothing they won't say or do, and so I'm returning the favour. My boy has not been so much as touched by the opposite sex before Anisa. In itself is not a big deal, but in the context of their relationship, I find it very quote-unquote humorous. So that was the fallout between Ethan and Anisa from that clip being spread around, but of course, we've got a whole lot of stuff to actually break down. I've actually pulled 10 minutes of stuff that I want to go over from this live stream, so without further ado, I'd like to dive straight into it and see what wacky, crazy shit iDubbbz was spewing.
Like, confidence, and just trying to, you know, feel good, feel proud, feel fucking energized, and, like, want to, you know, roll around in the shit, clap back, and not feel like, not be so, like, I guess, paralyzed that you're, like, fucking doing damage. And, like,
I mean, I would have said fair enough if you didn't decide to drop the Ethan content cop in the midst of trying to do Creator Clash 3, which of course caused lots of issues for Creator Clash 3. So this point is just genuinely hilarious to me.
To be honest, I think just to have a little bit more purpose, and, you know, I feel super jazzed up after this, and I hope this is just the beginning, because I want to, I don't know, there's some of that energy that I think people, like, recall from old iDubbbz videos.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad this is just the beginning, because I can keep milking you for content, so that is great stuff to hear, just in case, you know, all drama topics over the next year die. I know I've got you just in my back pocket there. But as well, I've just got to say, no, the energy from old content cops was definitely just not there. You sat there, you complained, you were disingenuous. That's not really what a content cop was, and that's why you've been shat on it.
Just kind of apathetic, I guess, you know, and that is like the name of the game when you're doing like kind of slop tuber commentary. It's just, you know, pretend that it's all, you know, you're above it all, I guess.
What you're going to see about a lot of the clips that we actually talk about and what we're going to be reacting to and what we're seeing here is this weird narrative and web that iDubbbz is trying to spin about commentary YouTubers, slop tubers, whatever you want to say. Hi, slop your hair. Ultimately, he looks genuinely pathetic by completely victimizing himself, acting like he's done nothing wrong, and that all of these commentary YouTubers and these slop tubers are just against him for no apparent reason, and it's genuinely absolutely hilarious to just see unfold.
Yeah, I mean, that's true in some sense, but also there's a moral element to being a slop tuber and shitting on someone that's doing something that's fucked up, that everyone can see is fucked up, and building it up and then shitting on them for doing fucked up stuff is exactly what an audience wants, because, you know, you're communicating that to them. Like you're I guess setting a precedent on a social moray about like, oh, if you act like this on the internet, somebody's gonna shit on you and it's gonna get a lot of views. And, you know, I think that was one of at least when I remember watching them and saying, yeah, like that's there's like a broader thing going on here. And I know as you're making things, you probably don't think about it like that, but the structure of YouTube and YouTube commentary is kind of like, it feels like that, find a target and critique them.
What I appreciate most about this clip is Noah Samsen is just explaining what it means to be a commentary YouTuber. Find someone, you critique them because they've done something bad that is either obviously bad or you've got an opinion about it. As iDubbbz looks at him like he's just chatting the most bollocks that he's ever seen in his life. Again, all of this is just in an effort to victimize iDubbbz, making him seem like he's just been ruthlessly attacked by these commentary people, that they're driven just to shit all over him, and it's genuinely hilarious how he spins this web, because it's very easy to deconstruct, especially when he starts making points further on.
Yes, like, that was one of the reasons why I felt comfortable, you know, bringing back Content Cop, is I was like, oh, I have, like, a different perspective going into this.
You said that nobody deserves a content cop. You said that you weren't going to be responding to Ethan Klein and that you were just going to ignore it, in the same breath as well about speaking about content cops in your podcast. If you had this insane realization and new thought about going into this process, why wouldn't you just make a regular video on Ethan? And I'm going to tell you why, because the content cop name brings lots of viewers. If he just dropped an Ethan Klein video, although it'd probably get lots of views, right, it wouldn't bring the nostalgia, it wouldn't bring old viewers back into the woodworks, which is exactly what iDubbbz was trying to do by making that video.
And I feel like my critiques are, like, they're way more in line with what I fuck with, rather than kind of what I see the internet fucking with.
Long story short, iDubbbz got annoyed that Ethan was shitting on him. He made a content cop. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day here.
Yeah, I do think there is some necessity to it. And I do like the idea of these videos like holding people accountable, even if it's just the fear of like a video being made about you.
iDubbbz, I'm going to tell you something, right? Like, listen with me, walk with me, right? And even if you don't hear this, right, I'm just going to scream it out into the void regardless. I don't think one motherfucker at this point would be scared if a content cop dropped on them. After the state of the series, after the state of you as a content creator, not one motherfucker is going to be scared that you are making a video on them. I'd unironically be more scared and more frightened if a 2-subscriber shitter did a badly screen recorded commentary video reacting to one of my slob videos.
It's kind of like, yeah, I mean, you know, that looming threat of someone making a video about you is like, you know, I think it's, you know, for some people, it, you know, maybe it doesn't mean much, but I think, you know, until you're there, you really don't know what that feels like, you know. I know a lot of friends, myself, you obviously, like, you know, the fear of someone fucking doing a hit piece or like a, you know, just kind of going through your life, auditing your online life is just kind of, yeah, that's a threat.
I mean, yeah, when you've done actual deplorable stuff that needs to be held accountable, yeah, that can be pretty scary because you know that all your dirty laundry about the stuff that you've been doing online, the disingenuous shit, is going to be called out and publicized. So, yeah, that is scary to people that have clearly fucked up.
I don't know. I want to be part of change, and I think part of my thought process in making a video like this is like, well, I could fucking take heat from Ethan. Like, I've been getting it from slop tubers for the past, you know, I don't know, since Anisa and I got together. So, like, I don't mind being a lightning rod or being an additional lightning rod for like Ethan's ire. But I think I didn't really, I don't know. I guess I just didn't expect, I don't know, the commentary community as a whole to be so, like, fucking, I don't know. Maybe they just don't think that there's, like, much in the way of views to get out of it.
Maybe iDubbbz's laser eye surgery has meant that he genuinely can't see what's going on within the commentary community, but lots of people are genuinely making videos about the situation. It's just because they're not agreeing with you. They don't agree with your points, they're actively criticizing you, Creator Clash 3, and Anisa, and the horrible decisions that all three parties have been making. Somebody who uploads commentary content, slob content, and is in that community, or whatever you want to say, lots of people have been covering this. It's been the main topic for the past several weeks, the past month, since iDubbbz dropped his video, and even before that when people were covering Hassan and H3. So I honestly just don't get this point whatsoever, and it very much seems like it's just because people don't agree with him.
I can't believe that, you know, the space is just like not really that interested in it. I don't know, it just surprises me.
iDubbbz, people will call out Ethan Klein and critique him when they see something that is critique worthy, like his Instagram story. That is critique worthy. And it's the exact same with you. If you did something that was, yeah, great, then people are going to praise you, and equally they're going to critique you when you do something bad. It's pretty straightforward logic, to be fair.
That was another thing. Yeah, like the choice to have Hassan in the video, that's another thing that I noticed in the comments is I think there are so many people. Like, that was a very active choice on my part.
I mean, yeah, you got him in the video, and that's why people critiqued you, because you had Hassan and all of Ethan Klein's worst detractors in a video where you were trying to come across as empathetic, kind and fair, and like you wanted to be friends with Ethan Klein after this, as this was a wake-up call, and it made genuinely no sense, and it's a critique-worthy thing.
I was like, I feel like, I think a lot of people are like, oh, you're such a bitch for having this guy in your video. And I'm like, no, I think I would be a major bitch if I didn't take a fucking stand and had this guy in my video.
It's just not the critique whatsoever. Like, just genuinely, seriously, that's not the critique. The critique is not that you're a bitch for having him in your video. So clearly the narrative that you, Anisa, and iDubbbz, and all these other people are spinning that this content cop was fair, that iDubbbz was trying to be nice, is clearly a false one because Hassan and all of Ethan Klein's worst detractors are involved in the video. That you not bringing up CPS in the video is disingenuous, so clearly not a fair shake on the situation. That's why people are critiquing you, not that you're a bitch for having him in your video.
Yeah, because I think a lot of them come from this place of like, you need to appeal to the most like wild, you need to cast your net so fucking wide. And I think the expectation was like, be on your own island. Do not, like, you know, you should be afraid of associating with these people. And I didn't want to do that because I think that is like, that's super weak in my mind. I'm like, no, I fucking agree with a lot of the things that these creators have to say. Like, to disinclude them would be just a fucking wimp move in my mind.
Well, the whole video was meant to be a wake-up call to Ethan. It was meant to be fair. It was meant to be looking at both sides. You know, it wasn't trying to be completely disingenuous in their view. So why have you got all of Ethan Klein's worst detractors and nobody on Ethan's side? Why aren't you putting across Ethan's side? That just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's really funny because it's very clear iDubbbz's actual motivations are coming out when he's speaking about it right now.
The creator clash stuff. I know you said you stepped away. How are you feeling about that stuff?
Good. I mean, I feel free. You know, I want to be able to fucking say what I want and you know, not worry about you know, putting other people in weird positions or whatever.
I mean, that very clearly just wasn't a thought or an issue when you dropped your content comp on Ethan Klein. Otherwise, you wouldn't have done it. Just pretty simple stuff again.
So I feel good. I hope that the event is a success. And yeah, it's.
I guess inverse question is, what does it feel like to see people, I guess, celebrating that a charity event might fail because you're the one who started it?
I mean, we've gone over this quote-unquote charity element so much that a lot of it is complete bullshit. The fact that Hassan managed to raise loads of money for charity by doing a drama stream, and Creator Clash has raised basically nothing, Creator Clash 3, and Creator Clash 2 raised absolutely nothing for charity, and then iDubbbz raised a bunch of money for charity on a stream. So, you know, the charity element is very flimsy and a weird idea. People aren't celebrating it for that. There's lots of criticizable things about Creator Clash that I and loads of other content creators have extensively gone over. It's not just because it's a iDubbbz event. If it was being successfully run, if iDubbbz was doing everything correct, if it made money for charity, it was doing the right things, then do you really think people would be criticizing it? No, they wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if they want to fucking blame me, again, it's fucking, like, it makes me so mad because I'm like, fucking, like, do and say whatever to me specifically, you know, like hurt me and my wife as much as you want, you fucking losers.
Again, this is where this whole victim mentality comes into place, right? There are genuine criticizable things about Creator Clash, but Noah and iDubbbz just don't address that whatsoever here and are acting completely ignorant and arrogant about it.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like they're missing the entire point. Yeah, it doesn't feel good, you know?
Yeah, I can't imagine it does, but I feel like that's another case of the personal is transcending any semblance of things that are important, or like any principles of like, what was the charity for? Like cancer research, or I don't even remember.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
stand up to cancer.
Cancer is bad, comes below. I don't like this guy.
Creator Clash 2 and Creator Clash 3 are both catastrophic failures. Creator Clash 2 has failed to raise money for charity, and Creator Clash 3, I mean, well, we've gone over that in basically every single iDubbbz video because of how many failures there have been. A lot of the talk about it has been discussing this charity element. It isn't that iDubbbz is this horrific person, so we've got to shit on this charity event. It's all about the charity element of it. The people have been criticizing how it's been run, how it's been handled, and the fact that charity really isn't getting a penny from this event. So it's incredibly disingenuous to paint this picture that everybody's shitting on this event because they don't like iDubbbz and that they're putting this charity element second.
And I'm going to talk about not liking this guy before I talk about cancer is bad, because I don't really care about either, but I'm more likely to make videos out of fuck that guy, and whoever gets in the way of that, even if it's kids with cancer, fuck them.
The point about criticizing Creator Clash 2 and Creator Clash 3 is the fact that these charities aren't seeing any money in the first place. So this point is just hilariously bad and can be easily disproven.
Right, fuck you. I want to talk shit. It feels insane a little bit. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it is I think the common defense from the other side would be something along the lines of like, don't use charity as a shield. But I think they completely missed the point that it's like, it's not a shield. It's just like, hurt me as much as you want. You know, it's basically saying like, you do not have a case. You are not winning. You are not hurting me. So you're trying to find other ways to hurt me. You are like, you're kind of by attacking this other thing, by triangulating this other thing, you are proving that nothing's working.
No, iDubbbz, your events are just shit. There's criticizable things to say about them, and that's why people are doing it. It's not just try and get an epic own on you because they don't like your content cubs or your narrative. People are just shitting on you for that anyways, and getting, you know, several owns on you. That's why the internet is turning against you. On top of the fact that your Creator Clash is an absolutely shocking state, and it's in dire need. Genuinely, this is why I needed to make a video about it, because the delusion within this live stream is insane. That's 11 minutes of this live stream. A lot of it is just genuinely mind-numbingly boring, but when they actually do speak speak about these topics is just insane. But everybody watching, what's your thoughts about this? I'm really interested to see what you have to say about this. Please feel free to comment down below. I want you to learn you guys will subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a future upload. Hopefully the next video won't be about iDubbbz, or maybe even the video after that. I'm hoping that, you know, some new topics might come out where we don't have to do almost back-to-back iDubbbz videos. But yeah, I had to cover this. This was some crazy stuff. But I've been your host Samuel, and I'll catch you in the next YouTube video.